Duckboat Dispatch, episode number 47. Sarah's not here. She is on a well-earned vacation. I believe she's going to visit her sister, but it's okay because Josh is here. I'm still here.
I don't care. Sorry, I'm trying to fill in like the space that she would be saying about now. So
It's okay.
I'm trying to fill
Josh
in
is still here. I'm still here, Tonka Safiri. And more importantly, we are at one of the best sporting times of the year because there is so much going on. It's insane how much can really change in a full week. We have playoffs in swing for the Bruins and the Celtics. Both of those series are tied up one apiece. We'll definitely dive into those. The Yankees are in town. Red Sox, Yankees, although it has lost a lot of steam, I would say, because the Red Sox suck, which we'll get into again this week as, surprise, surprise, nothing has really changed. They're ever consistently mid, and the NFL draft is tomorrow, and that is not the biggest story going on with the New England Patriots right now, which is just...
I was gonna say, you said at the start, what?
Nothing.
I was gonna say, you look like you're very tired today. You're yawning as you shake your head no.
The Invincible episode took a lot out of me.
No, don't say, I haven't seen it. Don't say anything. I will rip your head off like Thrag did with Thetis if you do.
Sneaky? I'm on Team Thrag.
Bro, he's a Viltrumite trying to kill everyone.
Okay, but like sneaky, he's got aura.
Well, yeah, he's like dope as fuck. I shouldn't say that word.
He's
cool.
Low key, Team Thrag.
Bro, he's got this clean haircut too. You see that haircut?
He's the peak of evolution.
No, that's the peak.
Oh, what does he say there?
All is ours?
What? No.
If it's from this episode, don't tell me. I don't want to hear it.
No, it's from last where he's like, whatever. They're just the superior race is what he says they are. That's what he is.
Yeah.
It took a minute to come to me. And he's not wrong. I mean, he is an animal.
No, he's a flippin'... He's an anomaly. You want to talk about anomalies? He's an anomaly. But
Tatum could still cross him up. I'm not worried.
Maybe. I don't know. That Achilles though, Thrag might go for the Achilles.
Nah, Tatum would block it.
But you mentioned that it's one of the best times of the year because there's so much happening with every sport. How much of that is good? Let's be honest. How much of it is good, Tom?
After last night, not much of it's good if you're a Boston sports fan, but just there's so much, Celtics lost, Red Sox
good.
Lost.
It's a great time of the year for us because we can talk about it.
Yeah, but it's just like if you're a fan, there's just so much going on, and there's nothing worse than being dead heat middle of July and it's just baseball, and you're not close enough to the start of the NFL season to really get that hype coming. Basketball's over, hockey's over, and it's literally just baseball. Like this is really, if you talk about this is like the climax of the sports year, and then it all goes downhill after the playoffs. I mean, especially because it's the first week of both NHL and basketball playoffs. There's games every single night, and it'll get later into the playoffs when it gets to the Western Conference Finals, the Eastern Conference Finals. There'll be days off where there's not much going on, and it's just baseball again. But right now, it really is one of the best times to be a sports fan.
It's fun. I'm enjoying every bit of it right now, even though some of it's not the greatest to enjoy. It keeps you busy. And definitely with that Bruins game last night, Wayman was effing outstanding. It's a little, the draft kind of sneak up on us. Not because we weren't really paying attention to it, simply because the Patriots are so low in the draft this year, with number 31, that, if we were a top 10 pick easily, every week it'd be, who are we drafting? Are we trading the pick? Are we not trading the pick? Who's going to come before us? But no, it snuck up because we weren't paying attention to it this year. And so now it's literally tomorrow. And I don't even think people know who's second overall is going to be. We all know that Mendoza is going to go number 1 to the Raiders. But who the hell is going number 2?
Yeah, it really is. It's both of those things. The Pats are picking 31, so it's not as interesting. But it's also, they were good this year, so it wasn't, okay, week 16, let's start talking about the draft, is the big thing.
There was no need to.
No, there was no, okay, we're, quote-unquote, tanking for the first overall pick, and we somehow botch it and end up with the 4th pick last year. There's none of that going on at all this year. It really was, oh my God, they made it to the Super Bowl. It's February. Wait a minute. It's March. Baseball's back. So it was the turnover between the two sports was very quick to begin with. And then also right around that time was when the Jason Tatum return talk was really starting to heat up post Super Bowl. I mean, he came back. What was it? He came back in the middle, like end of March, right?
Yes, yes, and
Yeah. So
middle-ish, endish.
yeah. So
And then
right there, that's a month. That's what's that 6 weeks between the Super Bowl and when Tatum's return. So
how
there
and then
wasn't a lot of downtime that was needed
how
to.
long ago was the Olympics? How long ago was that?
I mean, even then, but I didn't really. I don't. I'm not an Olympic guy.
Well, yeah, but
So
still, with the hockey playoffs, everyone was watching
I
that.
mean, yeah, like you have a niche team, like you have niche. Okay, I don't want to say niche, but you have a Team USA Canada game, which doesn't come around very often for both the men's and women's ice hockey games, which is electric. But okay, what's that? That's 2 weeks of entertainment. Okay, there's still a full month to fill before the baseball season kicks off. So it really, again, it does just it sneaks up on you when you're not bad and you're not looking for a top 10 pick or you're not looking for your franchise quarterback and really diving into the game film, the team, what you like about this quarterback and that quarterback. I mean, I could tell you next to nothing about this draft class. So we're not going to spend a ton of time on the actual class. What I think is far more interesting is what are the when it comes to what do the Patriots do at 31? It's the age-old debate. Are they going to stick and make a pick, or are they going to trade back? And the interesting part of trading back is I think that all but confirms, given that the weirdest reporting out there of all time is that AJ Brown is the report is so weird. It's essentially
AJ
after
Brown is
June 1st.
he's apparently has been traded to the New England Patriots, but he hasn't yet because it's not June 1st, so we can't say he's been traded, but assume that he's been traded. Like, what the hell are we doing, Shaq?
Exactly. It was a super weird report where it was okay, after June 1st, it is more than likely, I think those are the exact words, that AJ Brown is going to be a Patriot. But then they put out the breaking news graphic, and it's like, okay, has he been traded? No. It's just more. So there really was no new report. But I
No.
think after, if it comes to the draft and the Pats trade pick 31, trade back, acquire more draft capital, I think it makes even the odds even greater. Like right now, I'm at like a 99% AJ Brown's going to be a Patriot at some point in time. If you want to debate whether it's Thursday night tomorrow or it's June 2nd, I think he's going to be a Patriot. I think it's just a matter of when. I'm willing to have that conversation of when, but I think it's all but certain. And if they trade back, that is just another sign, like, okay, let's check off another box that AJ Brown's coming here. He wants to be here. The reports are that he's going to be here. The reports that after June 1st, it's assumed he's going to be here. Oh, they just traded back in the draft to acquire more capital. And honestly, I think it'd be better for the Patriots to, I mean, personally, I'd like just as a fan, and I think it'd be better if they could just get the deal done now, and then you can really lock in that you have him here when you're starting to think about, okay, how are we going to draft this? How are we going to manage this draft? Not assuming that we have AJ Brown, but knowing we have AJ Brown.
That's the thing. Can there be some kind of agreement in the NFL where it's like you can trade or sign a guy, or maybe not sign because maybe that would be considered tampering, but can you trade for a guy like almost kind of like a pre-order, but like it's not official until a certain date? Like, can there be an agreement where we trade for AJ Brown right now, but the contract and the details haven't officially been moved yet because of the Eagles not wanting to dump that much salary cap? Like, can we like have something like that?
No, so like, no, it's against the rules. And honestly, I think it's really just to have a under the table handshake deal, which honestly,
That's what I'm
doing
saying.
an under the table handshake deal, if I was Mike Vrabel, I would avoid that at this point in time currently
What do you
with
mean?
all
You
the backlash he's getting.
you think he was interlocking fingers with Nick Sirianni?
No, what the hell's the GM over there with the Eagles? What the hell's the name over there?
Sirianni's the coach. It's what's
Howie
it?
Roseman.
Yeah. Do
You're
you
the
think he
ball
was
knowledge. I don't
interlocking
know.
fingers with Howie Roseman?
I mean, maybe he was interlocking fingers allegedly with Adam Schefter to get the reports out. It is just such a. I don't want to spend too much time on it because, like, at the end of the day, I want to keep it kind of like, I don't want to be like, ooh, we're X's and O guys. Like, neither of us ever played any of these sports past the, a high school level, if even a high school level. But I kind of want to keep it locked in because it's just weird talking about like another person's family like that.
It is, but the only thing I really want to like touch on is that he addressed the media yesterday.
Okay,
Out of
I'm glad
nowhere,
we're on the
first
same
of all.
page. Which was,
Out of nowhere.
I mean, kind of pulled the rug. It was supposed to be
was kind
player
of
workout and then player speak, and then he kind of snuck out there like 15 minutes before, was like,
yeah,
"Hey, I'm actually
but
going to
like
speak."
let's be real though. It's kind of like yeah, you can make an argument of he like did it last minute. It's kind of a good PR move because like okay, you're in the middle of Red Sox Yankees are about to kick off, which is a huge rivalry, and then you have uh Celtics and Bruins coming off of the playoffs right now. So it's kind of like PR wise, I can't blame him for doing that. I
See,
can't.
from like the
Takes
what
the
I
heat off.
thought like PR wise, it was smart. It was because there just weren't that many like reporters there because it was okay. We're gonna get two players. I'm not gonna drive all the way down to Foxborough after voluntary workouts, like day two of voluntary workouts, whatever the hell it was, to speak to two players maybe. So from that sense, like yeah, it's smart, like a little cheeky, and the statement wasn't like if you were to grade the statement from like what you were hoping to be in it. Um, Again, not really an admission of guilt in there. I'm paraphrasing, and don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe the words were, "I've had a lot of difficult conversations with people close to me."
It's along the lines of that, yeah.
Something along those lines. Like what I like from it is obviously one, he addressed the media because he just had to, and
It was inevitable.
you don't want it to be 11:30 at night after the draft and he's getting peppered with these questions, and let's say, oh, they made a trade for AJ Brown and he's getting peppered questions about this whole Rossini thing. That's not what you want. You want it to be about either the player they picked and that moment of the give the player that moment, or you want to be, oh, they just traded for AJ Brown, let's talk about that.
I do respect that he did kind of mention the draft because I think he was right in that standpoint where he was kind of saying, let's not take this situation and have it pull away from the young talent that's about to come in. Let them have their moment. Let them, take it all in and not be like impressed that their head coach that they are now going to potentially play for is allegedly in a situation that has to do with a reporter and an affair.
Yeah, and then also mentioning that he spoke to the team on Monday, I think is what he said, and that's great. That
I
was the
think
first
so.
thing he had to do, and I think that's the most important. Obviously, getting his family situation, taken care of, whatever happens there, not my business at all. But making sure that he addresses the team because it really is just so much. This whole situation is opposite of what we thought and know of. What Vrabel preaches. It's making good decisions, not being a distraction, family, loyalty, all of that, hoopla that he preaches. Kind of this was the opposite of all of that. And I'm glad he adjusted the team because it's apparently it's, you read reports, Josh, from whoever it may be, Mike Reese, Giardi, Tommy Curran, like it is all over the walls at Foxborough down there, like make good decisions on and off the field. And he made a poor decision off the field that brought a distraction to the team, which is exactly what he tells his players not to do. So I think that is something he knew he would have to address. And obviously, I don't think we'll ever get the details on what he said and how he said it. I think that's going to stay a private matter on what he said in the locker room. But that is first thing I saw, like what I needed from, like if I was doing a checklist of what I needed from the Vrabel statement, like that's number one, that he openly admits that he addressed the team. Like that's the first thing I need.
No, and I like how he did that first because I think that's who, aside from the family and the personal business and all that, when it comes to the actual football relations of the situation, I think the players are the first people that should be spoken to and quite frankly should be apologized to because of what he preaches about of doing the right thing and then he doesn't. So now he looks like a poor role model if he doesn't. But I think apologizing those guys is the right thing. Should he apologize to the fans? Because I know that's a big question lately. No, I don't think he should. He doesn't owe us anything. Um, but another thing I'm thinking about is Tom. You mentioned that the details probably won't get spilled. I guarantee you, once like kind of training camp goes more into way, once we get closer and closer to the NFL season, I guarantee you will have guys like Drake May, Gonzo, other guys. I'm blanking on the entire roster right now. Hunter Henry. You will. I guarantee you, a ton of dumb reporters are going to be flagging these questions in front of these guys, and I think. Hopefully I think they will kind of be trained and I think they will be prepared to answer those questions. That I don't think like Drake May's going to slip like, oh, Vrabel told this, and that. I think all of them will humbly deny every question because I guarantee you the first time that they all go up to that podium, not all the reporters, but some reporters are going to be dumb and ask those types of questions just to squeeze out the juicy headline that they so desperately need.
Yeah, and speaking of juicy headlines, the one in the Post yesterday I thought was disgusting. Where it was like, meet Jen Vrabel, Mike Vrabel's wife, or whatever the hell it was.
I
It's a
didn't
bunch of
see
pictures.
that. I didn't see that. So what did that entail?
So I didn't read the article because I just one, I don't read the New York Post like that. Like, I'm not
Fair.
gonna
I also
pretend, but
don't. I also
saw
don't.
see it on Twitter, like the headline. It's like, meet Mike Jen Vrabel, and like that is, you want to post a story about that, Rossini Vrabel, go ahead. You're a news outlet. It's what your job is. But I think like she's not a public person. She's just the wife of a coach. She didn't sign up for all of this, and maybe it's like, yeah, this is the 5 seconds of, I don't want to say 5 seconds of fame she gets, but like, yeah, she is interesting right now because of the situation that she is inherently involved in because she's married to Vrabel. But I thought it was just like disgusting that they're going in and like detailing all the things about like some,
Yeah, that
like the pictures were just like, pictures of her and Vrabel or whatever is, on the Post. Like, I thought it was just kind of gross, and
like
unnecessary, like addition
yeah,
to the story.
that's stupid. Like f off at that point. Like that is you being like paparazzi at that point, where you're just trying to intrude in someone's personal life just to grab a headline and make some cash and be like, hey, I'm the person who got this big trendy headline. So all you young folks on TikTok can just go to my page and scroll on my TikTok page while you eat your Doritos the entire time. Like that, I just find stupid. Like genuinely f off if you are the person going out of your way to go find Vrabel and or Rossini's personal.
They
Uh,
actually, speaking of that, 2 hours ago, they just posted, "Who is Diana Rossini's husband?" All about Kevin Goldschmidt, I believe is how you say the
who
last name.
cares though? Like, I'm not saying that in a rude way of like, who cares who Diana Rossini's husband is? I'm sure he's a cool guy. But like, okay, in this scenario that we're in, who the hell cares about who exactly the husband is? The husband is a guy who allegedly just had his wife cheat on him. That's who it is. I don't care if he's 40 years old, 20, 80, a construction worker, a sales worker, a real estate salesman. I don't care who the guy is, quite frankly. Like,
Yeah, I
what?
mean, this is just a very like, these
It
two
doesn't.
posts are our articles. Sorry, but they're very. You said it. I think you said it best. Like, they're very, not directly, but they're very TMZ. Like, this is what I expect TMZ to post. This is not what
Exactly.
I expect from the New York Post.
It's
Um,
paparazzi at this point.
yeah, and I think it's stepping over a boundary. But who the hell am I to say sitting in my parents, like the room I live in at my parents' house?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it'd be weird to just go up to the second half of the story and just intrude them on this uncomfortable situation that they've now put in. Like, like Tom, imagine like no, God forbid, I would never want this to happen to you. God forbid you get cheated on. Now I'm coming at you with all these questions, be like, Tom, how do you feel, man? Like, damn, bro, your girlfriend just cheated on your ass. You must feel like crap.
I don't want to see that in the New York Post. Like, that's it's a
Like,
fairly
yeah,
matter. I don't know.
like,
I think that obviously covering it in a sense, like, yeah, sports, sports people cover the story because it does have some sports implications as well as personal implications. Like, how is Vrabel going to
if
handle the locker room, and how does he adjust the team, and what's the messaging? Like, that is all sports adjacent. But I think going into, okay, let's start diving into all about the spouses who are involved is overstepping in my opinion.
if you want to talk to Vrabel or Rossini or maybe a higher up at the New York Post or a higher up on the Patriots, go ahead, go ahead. Like, but f off when it comes to the family and the friends that are involved in this. F off.
Yeah, I think it's just gross. So we'll see if there's any backlash there. But let's get into the actual sports. The draft is tonight. Pick 31. Pats are on the clock tomorrow night at pick 31. It'll probably be like 11 o'clock because the draft moves so slow, which is
Especially
always a
after the
thing.
first 10. Once you get into like the teens, then it's like,
It just drags. Like the first 10 picks, I'm like, ooh, it's the draft, and then
yeah.
it's like, oh,
And
it's the
even
draft.
and even when like the team has their pick set in stone and like you see the little clock and it only ticks down 2 seconds and then you see the pick is in, Adam Schefter just takes a sweet time just walking to the podium
Schefter,
doing his
go
little.
Goodell,
What did I say?
Shefty.
Oh, I said Shefty. My bad. Goodell. Sorry, I'm too used to talking about Schefter lately. Yeah, Goodell takes a sweet time, strutting down to the podium with this little envelope in hand, being like, do, 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 do. And then he's got to do this long ass speech and then he'll be like, "Oh, the pick is now in," and they select this person. All right, see you back in like another half an hour.
Yeah, it's just ridiculously long. At pick 31, it's either to me, you pick an edge rusher, and I'm not going to pretend like I know which is the best edge rusher in the draft, because I haven't done any like draft work. Because like we said, it's just not that. It's not that year with the draft because they're picking 31. They didn't suck, so you don't need to spend so much time looking into the draft. Like pick an edge rusher. I think getting pressure on the quarterback, like that is the biggest need as of right now. It's going to be an edge rusher or a lineman, in my opinion. Someone to play on the left side of the line as well, especially with Wilson sliding over to center, and then Will Campbell potentially sliding in from guard to tackle, or to tackle to guard. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I think it's going to be a trade out because I really do think they're just going to build up some capital to eventually get to the Eagles. Or maybe the pick goes to the Eagles and they get A.J. Brown in return.
That's fair. I don't think they'll actually trade for AJ Brown on the draft night because of that salary dump that the Eagles would have to make. But I could see them trading back a couple spots for draft capital because then again, what would you have to give up for AJ Brown at this point? A first and a second, a first and a third?
I think first and a third should be enough.
A first and a third. All right. So I mean, yeah, you trade back, get some draft capital. So if you don't screw yourself with AJ Brown, you don't get rid of two high value picks, and you still are able to get some young guys coming in from this draft. I will say though, would it be a red flag if they just took a wide receiver at 31?
Yes, if they took a wide receiver at 31, I would be very nervous about AJ Brown becoming a Patriot.
That's what I'm thinking because if you just take, I think you explained it perfectly. If you take a wide receiver at 31, that really does tell me AJ Brown's off the table. And how well have the Patriots done with drafting wide receivers in the late first round, early second round in the past couple of years? Not good.
No, they've been terrible. And there's already so much. I don't want to say too many people in the wide receiver room, but you already have guys that probably aren't going to be on this roster when it comes to the actual season. Like, is Kayshon Boutte going to be here? Pop Douglas, Kyle Williams, who the hell, Efton Chisholm? Like, are these guys? I know I'm missing a couple guys as well, but like, are these guys going to be on the roster? Matt Holland, Ramiro Dobbs, like you have. So it's that 7 guys right there. I mean, Chisholm probably going to be a practice squad, maybe a punt returner or something along those lines. Yet again, it's just, okay, we bring in another young guy. Ooh, now I'm really worried about the wide receiver room. Like, you bring in A.J. Brown, I'm not worried in the slightest because that's a top 5, top 6 receiver in the league.
Yeah.
At his peak.
It's like if you throw another young receiver in there, it still just does not feel like a complete wide receiver room. Like, it's not like you're taking a wide receiver with like a top 10 pick. You're taking one late in the first, early second, so it's like your wide receiver room would barely move. Whereas if you were to take an offensive line or an edge rusher, your two weakest positions, in my opinion, then it's like, okay, now you're getting some depth and potential in that slot on your team.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll know tomorrow night. But let's pivot over because there's a lot to talk about. I want to get to some Sox, Bruins, Celtics. So let's start with the Sox because I think we should spend the least amount of time on them because they care the least about us from the product that is put on the field because they're terrible. They're terrible. I mean, they're on track to hit, I think, like 84 home runs in the season, if that. I don't think they've hit a home. I mean, when was the last time they hit a home run? Genuinely couldn't tell you. I think they've hit 13 home runs so far, and they've been at like 700 at bats.
Was Durant one? Has Durant?
I think it was Contreras. I think Contreras probably the last home run. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible.
Bad. It's bad, and I was It not only is it bad, but like it's just so embarrassing of the state of the Red Sox at the moment. Like John Henry is an absolute joke right now. Breslow looks like a joke. Cora looks like a joke. Everyone looks like a joke right now. No one looks like they're taking it seriously, and it's almost become a like a fantasy of what we're in right now. Like, this does not feel real to me at the moment. And like, even Roman Anthony feels like a fantasy right now. And I'm not saying a fantasy in a good way. I'm saying a fantasy in a bad way. Like, this is terrible.
I really wonder, because if you look at the guys in the WBC, they were out there mashing. Like, Anthony was awesome. Contreras was awesome. Duran was, a guy you could play. Looked like a guy you could play every single day. And now he is, I mean, part of it's the construction of the roster. He's not even playing close to every single day. So I really wonder if it's something with the like philosophy at the plate that is, or something that's going on with like the hitting coaching. Like something had to have changed between Roman Anthony at the WBC and Roman Anthony now, because he looks like a completely different player. And that can be said for a lot of the guys on this team, specifically that were in the WBC hitting really well. Like, I'm really curious if there's something organizationally from a system that they're told to play, like they're trying to play, that is changing the way they like think at the plate, because I really can't make sense of why the offense is so bad. Like, yeah, I can make sense of why Caleb Durbin's bad. He stinks. Like, that's like,
Schmerman.
boom, problem solved right there. He can't hit the ball for the life of him right now, and he should not be playing. Like, I can understand why Jerry Duran's not hitting well, because he's not playing every day, and he's a guy who needs to play every single day. So, like, that aspect of it, I'm really curious if there is like an organizational philosophy of how they should approach at bats that is just terrible.
Can we have Yoshida in the lineup more?
Like, and again, 2 weeks ago, I said I couldn't stand Yoshida. He was my least favorite player in the city of Boston.
My favorite player.
But now it's like, oh my God, he's the most consistent guy on the rock. He's the most consistent guy at the plate because he fits the system the Red Sox want to play, which is, hey, let's go out there, let's hit a ground ball through the gap for a single. Like, that's what the Red Sox want to do.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we just need a run. Boom, Yoshida can get a run. Yoshida can hit the ball. It's not like we need Yoshida dinging a homer every single day, although that would be great. But, like, he's at least doing what he's fitting the role. He's filling in the puzzle piece that you're kind of missing on this team, which is doing something at least. But I don't know. I generally don't know what the answer is, and I really want to stop with the it's too early conversation with the Red Sox being like, oh, there's still 100 and something amount more games. Like, we're fine. I don't care. We effing suck right now. I don't care if it's the start of the season, the middle of the season, or the end of the season. And this goes across for every single sport. If you suck right now, you suck and you need to change it. That something needs to happen. I'm sick of this too early crap.
It's not even that it's too early. They're just not fun to watch.
No.
Like, it's pain because you're going to go out there. They're going to put up 0 runs and they're going to have 4 hits. And yeah, it's really fun when your pitcher can do that. But the Red Sox pitching staff isn't doing that right now. And then on top of that, they have negative run support. So defensively, when they're out there pitching, it's like, oh, great. What's going to happen here? And then it gets to the plate. It's like they have 0% chance to get a run. Like,
and
literally 0.
And speaking of not being fun to watch, you want to know what's like an embarrassing point that I kind of thought of over the past 2 weeks? The fact that your main attraction right now is not the Red Sox at Fenway. It's all the other promotional stuff you're doing. People, like, if you look on media, like Twitter,
those goddamn cooler cups.
The cooler cups are trending like crazy. If you look all over on people's Instagrams, their Snapchats, TikToks, on Twitter, the cooler cups, despite them actually looking kind of cool, no pun intended, they are literally your main attraction. And then on the other night, I think on Friday, was what, the Real Housewives of Rhode Island night?
Yeah, there was a Real Housewives. Like, it is back to.
They were doing like a promotional where you can get like an autograph from them, like a photo op and like stuff like that, and you can go get a free bedazzled Rhode Island of Real Housewives of Rhode Island T-shirt. And so I'm like, and again, people were posting more about that than the actual Red Sox game itself. And so the fact that, you're supposed to go to Fenway to watch the Red Sox, and then while you're there, you can get a free cooler cup and get a free T-shirt as well. But now it's like, let's go to Fenway to go get a cooler cup that will sell on eBay for $100 and meet the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Oh, and by the way, we'll watch the Red Sox while we do that as well. That is embarrassing that you're not even the main event of your own damn attraction.
You know what they're back to, Josh? It's back to the Fenway experience, which is what they were selling to us, 2020, 21. It was right up to Mookie Betts got traded. Like, that's what they're selling to fans. You got to go and watch for the Fenway experience.
And maybe that's something we'll just have to accept now because, it's no longer let's go watch the baseball team at the baseball field. It's let's go do a bunch of things at this attraction area. That's what it is now. That's how it feels.
I don't know how they came back because last year it wasn't like this. Last year was like, we have a good product on the field, but now it's not. And it's okay. You know what? You're going to be here for the experience. Like, cool. I can get a hot dog, sing Sweet Carolina, do the wave, literally anywhere else besides Fenway Park. I can do that in the backyard with my buddies if I really cared about also the wave overrated. I can, you know what I can do? I can go to the grocery store. I can buy a pack of dogs, a thing of rolls. I can throw them on the grill. I can take my shirt off, put my feet up, watch the team in the comfort of my own home for like $7.50 and not worry about, well, actually more because paying for Nessun is a pain in the ass to find as well. But like, there's just no reason to want to go watch this team because you're
No,
not going to get a
unless
good
you're
product on the
doing
field. It's going to be a pain in the ass game. Even the games that they do when it's like, oh my God, they scored 8 runs? How the hell did they score 8 runs? It's like Caleb Dermott in 2 minutes in a game? Like, oh my God, Jesus going to come back from the heavens to save us.
Yeah, it's ridiculous now because you said it's not fun to watch them. No one wants to come to Fenway to go watch the Red Sox. That's why, like, there's so much promotional stuff going on right now. Like those cooler cups, they're $20 a pop. People are like rushing for them like they're a limited time Pokemon card, and they're selling them on eBay for $100. $100 for the little cooler cup that is probably no bigger than this little root beer can I'm
I think
drinking.
it's supposed to be 16 ounces is what I heard. I'm not too sure.
It is no, it is 16. I asked this
Because
question.
it's short, but it's a little stubby.
Yeah, and so it's like they're doing since their baseball team sucks. They're fooling all these other and I don't want to call them casuals, but all these people that aren't dedicated so much to the Red Sox, and they're like, okay, how else can we dedicate them? Okay, let's get this really cool souvenir that we can sell them. Let's get the Real Housewives of Rhode Island because a lot of people love reality TV. That will sell tickets at Fenway. You want to know what won't sell tickets at Fenway?
The team.
The team.
And I really just because there's so many problems. I don't know how you fix it.
I stopped listing them because there's too many.
It really feels like they're sorry to cut you off, but it really feels like you're gonna have to tear it down to the studs and start over again,
It
which
really
is
does.
not where they should be after last season. Like you were a couple innings away from the ALCS. Like you were almost out of the wild card. You almost beat the Yankees in the playoffs at in Yankee State. Like it was just they are a shell. I don't even look like how the hell did they even do that last year? And like looking at it, it's like obvious. Like Crochet was an animal, and he has not been good, which is really scary. Like the one thing you could have gone into the season, like okay, I'll put my money on something happening. It would be like okay, Crochet is going to be in the Cy Young, and we're in April, and he's already out of the Cy Young race, because of the last 2 starts he had. So pray like. I don't know, whatever you pray to, like pray to them that Crochet is going to be back to something of himself. So then you can kind of salvage at least, okay, every 5 or 6 games or so, we'll have Crochet and that game will be good to go and watch. And that game will be worth your time. Because right now, they're not worth your time. They really aren't.
No, they're not. They really are not worth my time at all. I don't really find much joy. I don't find much joy watching them. But when you say to break down the team, what does that entail? What does that include? Name like what? Okay, you're John Henry because we all know John Henry's not selling team. You're John Henry, and you have control of the entire team. What's like 3 things you're doing immediately?
The first thing I'm doing is I'm firing Caleb Dermott into the sun. Like first thing I'm doing, Caleb Dermott gone. And I know that's kind of ridiculous because I think he's a very young player. But I think honestly, like what you do is you find guys like Trevor Story who's making way too much money for what he's doing.
Like,
Try to find a way to get rid of him. Like you're trying to dump cap and like rebuild.
Let me rephrase it. How much of the roster are you getting rid of or / moving?
Dude, honestly, like unless your name is Roman Anthony Meyer or like Abreu, like kind of cool to see everybody go at this point.
Okay.
Like really, it's like Crochet, like Connolly Early, Chapman, Whitlock. Kind of okay with seeing almost everybody else go.
What about
I know I'm probably missing somebody there who should stay. Like
what about
Narvi's cool, but like he's not hitting well. That
Casas?
no, I'd probably fire Tristan Casas to the Sun too. But
Even
there's
though he's
literally
not
like
playing?
you're never gonna get good return on him, so he's gonna be here. Like it's the same reason Yoshida still this team. They're never gonna get good return on him, so he's still here. Like that's why Jaron Durant's still here. Because we're not gonna get good return on Jaron Durant right now because he's.
What are you doing with Peyton Tolley?
I'm keeping Peyton Tillis on the big league roster. Like, if I had my way, there would be a full youth movement in Boston. Like, first of all, if we come on here next week and I complain about Marcelo Meyer not playing against a lefty, I'm gonna blow a gasket. I'm so sick of it. Like, yo, like, yes, maybe for this current instance in this current moment in time, it is better chances to have Andrew Monasterio out there instead of Marcelo Meyer because there's a lefty on the mound. However, I believe Marcelo Meyer is a rather large piece of the Red Sox future. So why don't we try to figure out on a down year how to get this guy to hit lefties?
I
That
think
just
no,
what's up?
never mind. I thought the lineups were out. Never mind.
No. Like to me, as a guy who isn't getting paid millions of dollars to help manage a baseball, run a baseball team, that just makes sense to me when it comes to player development. Like, ooh, we have a young guy. What's he not good at? Hitting against lefties. Okay, let's have him hit against lefties. Like, you're not winning games, you may as well put him out there and give him the practice. Like, to me, that's the first thing I would do. Like, very first thing I would do. Second thing I would do is that's when you figure out, okay, who are the pieces that are keepable? Roman Anthony, Garrett Crochet, Marcelo Meyer, Willie Abreu, say Don Rafaela. I think you have, all in all, like, I think you have an outfield that can, compete in big games. Like, I think that outfield of Anthony, say Don, and Abreu can compete. The problem is that you have these two guys in the name of Jarren Duran and Masataka Yoshida who both play outfield. And you have to find a way to work them into your lineup so not every single day are you going out there with your best outfield. Like, how many times when you look at the lineup, Josh, do you go, yep, the best 9 guys are in the game? Like, screw pitching and defense. Put somebody else at, like, put Jarren. I don't care if he can play the position. Put him at third base at this point so he plays every single day. Like, okay, maybe he can't put Rafael at third base, which is just insane to say that you want to take one of the best defensive center fielders out of center field just to make this Frankenstein of a roster fit somehow.
It's odd. How long will it take for you to give up on the team fully?
Like, I'm already kind of like, oh.
How many games in do we need to
65 games achievable this year, maybe? 65? Like, I don't know.
Maybe 70 if you're really, really lucky. 70 if Roman Anthony really lives up to the hype.
Who knows? I mean, I really just... There's so many questions, no answers for this Red Sox team, and I really think, like, they might have to rip it down to the studs and start over, which is just so sad from a team that was a couple innings away from beating the Yankees in the playoffs. The one good thing I will say, before we move on to the two teams that are actually in the playoffs, one thing that does have me a little hopeful. If the Red Sox get swept by the Yankees at home, typically losing to the Yankees forces the Red Sox, like brass, to make moves. I think getting swept by the Yankees at home could put a lot of pressure on the team to make some changes. And that does give me a little bit of hope. Not a ton, because knowing the Sox will find a way to win the last game of the series and be like, ooh, we salvaged the game against the Yankees. Like, no, they came in and beat your ass.
What do you want for Christmas? The firing of Caleb Durbin.
No, like, I don't know. It's so, like, I really am at a loss for words. Like, that is the one thing right now that I'm, like, holding on to. Like, okay, maybe if they get swept, they'll get really aggressive in making changes to kind of salvage the season. And I know it's so early for a trade, but maybe they get that desperate.
They might. I think, yeah, they got to break it down at this point.
So,
because what do you have going for you?
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. Like, sure, Roman Anthony can turn things around and become an absolute stud. Okay, great. You just went from 70 wins to 75. Woohoo.
Yeah. I don't know. That's really the only thing I'm kind of pulling for right now is, I know that's a loser thing to hope you lose, but I honestly think a sweep would do more than a 2-1 series loss to the Yankees right now. Because I think it would put pressure on ownership and pressure on Breslow and pressure on Core to make something happen.
Yeah, especially when John Henry's been at the games lately. Standing up, just peering over like Batman.
Yeah. And especially with how much the Red Sox fans can't stand Cam Schlittler, and he's going to pitch at one point in time in the series. I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Red Sox, Yankees, sometime tonight. Don't even know. What is it, 6:45 first pitch, 7 o'clock first pitch?
I believe it's a 6:45 first pitch. Yeah, 6:45 first pitch.
All right. So we'll see what happens there. But let's move on to the two teams that are actually in the playoffs. Celtics Bruins series tied up. Tried to get I know we're not big puck guys here. Try to get some hockey guys on today. They were both busy.
With what? I want to know their excuse. What'd they tell you?
Skillings is at work.
Oh, okay. I wasn't thinking.
Then Mark,
what about the other
class.
Two? Oh, Mark has class. Since when does Mark? I'm sorry.
Go to class, yeah.
When
I was like, when do you go to class? But it's also a Ken class, and I was like, okay, what time?
Oh.
And I know Ken teaches later in the afternoon. It's like it's
That
4 to 6, but I have a project. I was like, when do you do your homework?
yeah,
So
I
no
can't
Mark
remember.
here.
I
He
can't
did want
remember
me to
the last
relay a
time.
message. Let me pull that up real quick.
I can't remember the last time Mark did a project. I can tell you the last time he played Rocket League.
It's always on that game.
He played so much Rocket League, especially at like 4 in the morning. He played that at 4 in the morning sometimes. Like I'd wake up after like a Saturday night, and he would just be on the couch, just playing Rocket League.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
So let's start with the Bruins because Mark's one message was forecheck, paycheck, back check, and I was like, okay, just leave that message. Again, not the biggest puck guy. I watched the Celtics then flipped over to the Bruins to catch the third period. Damn near did it to us again. Like damn near sold that game last night. They let two in real quick, and I was like, oh no, not again. Luckily, they were able to hold on to the 4 goal lead.
No, Swayman's just that guy though. The gap between Swayman and, I'll be honest, I don't know the Sabres goaltender. The gap between him and Swayman though is astronomical in my opinion. Swayman is 20 million times better than that guy.
Yeah, I mean they're riding a hot goalie right now, which is
Yeah.
huge in
Like
it's huge in hockey
he was
playoffs.
what, 34 for 36 yesterday, which is outstanding. And I think a lot of people for Swayman was kind of like the question coming into the playoffs because people were like, if Swayman doesn't play well, you're cooked, you're bounced easily. But now it's like, okay, well, Swayman's actually like the best guy on the roster right now.
Yeah, he's playing really well, and to end that game on 4 minutes, 6 on 5. I get it. You don't need to score the empty net goal. You just need to kind of keep the puck away and kill the time. Still, longest, some of the amazing saves on that 6 on 5, but also like the intensity that which they're playing with, I think really benefits the Bruins to be that. I think that's what they're built as, like their identity. I think Jerem said it before the series, like they are, supposed to be the bigger, more physical, more aggressive team. And
Bruins
when
hockey, baby.
like they're supposed to be that chippy, aggressive team, and they're out there laying bodies, causing fights, getting like the penalty box there was a party in the penalty box to get in that game last night. And I think that type of play benefits this team.
Yeah. It's Sturm last night said, that's Bruins hockey, baby, or not baby, but he said that's Bruins hockey in his post game interview on Nesson, I believe. Um, But it's not only Swayman who's doing a good job. There's so many other guys that are like you wouldn't expect to kind of step up who are really stepping up. I think Zaka is one of them. Kuznetsov, another guy who I think is really playing pretty consistently. I'm not saying outstanding, but pretty consistently. James Hagen's even. James Higgins isn't like playing at like an all-star level, like he's the greatest player on the team, but he's doing decent for just being called up from BC. I think he's doing pretty good. I would say so. I mean, I'd have more faith in him than Roman Anthony right now, not to cross over. But I will gladly put my chips in on James Higgins right now.
Yeah, sorry, I was losing something. I just
Is
like
another date.
no, no, not yet. We're
Not
still
yet. Whoa,
still in the
not
batter's
yet.
box. Yeah. But like they should be up 2-0. Like they should they choked away game 1. They almost choked it away last night. How much how much better I'd feel about the Bruins if they were up 2-0 coming back to the Garden with like a good home team.
It's weird to think about because I think if they went down 0-2, I think the series would technically be over. But I think having this one win really does give you that ego boost of, looking back on game 1, you can say game 1 was really on us. We shot ourselves in the foot. We gave up, 3 in the last 6 minutes?
They've been the better team for 110 minutes of the game,
Yeah.
110 minutes of the series so far,
Like
and they're only up 1-1, or the
they
tied
shot
1.
themselves in the foot in game 1, and so it's like, yeah, and now you're coming back to Boston for the next 2 games. Call me crazy. They could go 2-0 in the next 2. They could go
Yeah.
2-0 at home.
I mean, they very much, and I know the Sabres are a good road team, but they've looked like the better team for a large part of this series. They just sold it in the game 1.
The Sabres are a good team at on the road, but the Bruins are awesome at home. The Bruins have been absolutely killer when they're at home.
And I think because of just the way this team is, they weren't supposed to be here. They're scrappy. They're aggressive. Like, this is a team that the fans are really going to get around at the Garden. Like, always playoff hockey in the Garden is special. Hockey at TD Garden is always electric, always special, always a rowdy crowd. But I think more because of the identity of this team being that enforcer-esque role, I think it's something the fans are really going to get behind. And it's going to be a tough place to play Friday night.
Yeah, I think it will be as well. But What time is that game on? You
I'm
know, off
assuming
the
it's
top of your
7 o'clock Friday night. I don't know. The schedule for these godforsaken games is a pain. So the no, so the Bruins play Thursday night at 7, and then the Celtics, which we'll get into as well, also tied. They play Friday at 7. And I was like, Celtics lost last night, and I don't know if it's just me, and maybe I'm just too big of a homer. You can let me know. I almost give on a phone number to call in. Um, I really almost gave a phone number to call in.
call
Um,
in at 78120. I'm kidding.
yeah, like really almost gave a phone number. Like, let us know in the comments down below. Again, subscribe at the Duckboat Dispatch, Instagram, TikTok, Duckboat Dispatch. Do I am I a homer? But I feel like whenever the Celtics lose in the playoffs, as of late, like last year, championship year, and this year, it's never been because the other team is better. They literally just shoot themselves in the foot with their 3-point shooting.
I'm trying to think about it. Hang on.
Because you think, just like last night, two things killed them. They couldn't buy a three, and that stupid drop coverage they were playing defensively, which we'll get into, don't worry. And then that
I'm
New
gonna
York
go.
series,
I'm gonna
they
go with
shot themselves in the foot.
kinda yeah, kinda no, because you could say in the first half of that New York series they did play like trash, or they did shoot themselves in the foot. But like, if you want to go into the second half, when after Tatum tore his Achilles, the game where they finally shut it out, the Celtics did not play good in that game.
Okay, so maybe one
that was
game, but it's
fully
just,
New York.
to
That
me,
game was fully New York.
if the Celtics gonna lose playoff games, it's because they can't hit their 3 point. And I know that's like very like, oh, whoop de doo, rocket science over here. You don't hit your threes, you're not gonna win the game. But it comes to a point where they don't play good defense, and then on the offensive end, they're forcing too many threes. They
I
just
was. It's You can make that argument. Yeah, yeah, I'll give you that. I think another thing they could have done better in that game was attacking the paint. You have what's his name on the set on the Sixers?
Bona
Bona.
and
That's the
Drummond.
center right now. That's the effing center. It's not Drummond. Andre Drummond is not the backup. Is not the starting center right now with
No,
Embiid
but
out.
he's the backup.
Yeah, but he's back.
Those are the centers they're going against.
But even then, Bona is the starting center. Attack the rim. Like, I'm
And
not saying attack the rim to just like, oh, get like, stay away from the risky three. Go take a safe 2-pointer and maybe get a foul as well. I'm literally saying that because you will absolutely destroy Bona in the paint. Did you see the Jaylen Brown poster last night?
I
It
mean, yes,
killed him.
Tatum got blocked on one, but to me, it's not even like offensively attack the rim. It's defensively. Why are you going under all of the screens? Like the drop coverage they were doing on the screens. No wonder why they hit 19 threes on the other end. The 76ers have done that 3 times this season
Yeah,
before
and
that.
you can't let a guy like Maxi do that. Maxi
No,
will
they were letting
finish.
Edgecombe and Maxi get the cleanest looks from behind the 3 point line with that drop coverage. It was terrible. And at some point in time, they had like that is a little bit of a coaching thing. Like, okay, we're gonna stop going under all of these screens. How about you go over the screen and put it in the big man's hand because Bona stinks and Drummond's washed. And like, yeah, okay, he kicks it out to what? Kelly Oubre in the corner, who had like the best game I've ever seen him play in my entire life. That's real, and Paul George, who way off P or whatever. Like, yeah, he had a good game last night, but still, it's Paul George at this point in his career. That was the biggest gripe to me. It wasn't like offensively selling for too many threes or too much ISO ball with Jalen and Jason. It was
Yeah,
the
it's so
drop coverage.
Yeah, no, I
But
didn't like how much
the
ice
ISO
ball we were doing.
ball didn't bother me because if you look at it, none of the other guys like Tatum and Brown played really good. Brown was excellent. Tatum was great. Nobody else on the team scored more than 10 points. Not Derek. Derek White was terrible last night. He couldn't find water if he was in a boat last night. He was awful. Sam Hauser hit like his first 2 threes, and I was like, oh my god, Sam Hauser legacy game. That dude couldn't hit the broadside of a barn after those 2 shots. And then Vucevic has been really disappointing since he returned from his injury. And then Peyton Pritchard also really bad last night. Like the
You want to know who I
the,
also
the
might?
other pieces didn't perform last night.
You want to know who I also might discredit? I think I'm going to discredit my favorite coach in Boston right now, which is Joe
Like
Mazzulla.
he
Why
needed
didn't
to make adjustments last night.
Yeah, why didn't he make the adjustments last night? Where was like you understand that the defense is working. You understand that no one can hit a three for their life. So it's like why are you going with the same thing over and over? I mean, the definition of going psychotic is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you'll get the same result, getting a different result. That's literally the definition of a psychopath. Which,
I believe
well,
it's
I mean,
insanity.
if you think, or yeah, insanity. If you think about it, is that really far away from Joe Mazzulla's personality?
Like I mean, I could see him getting stubborn and locking in. Like, no, we could beat them this way. Like, no, sometimes, like, will the 76ers beat the Celtics in this series? No, not a worry in my bones that the Celtics aren't going to beat this team. But
I
let's
will
make the
honestly
adjustments,
say,
bro. Like,
I will,
why not sweep them? Why not sweep them?
I will honestly say, if Joel Embiid comes back, right, I
I'm
think the
still not
ser-
worried.
I think the series will be easier.
I mean, maybe
I
I
think it will
saw a
be
stat.
easier with Joel Embiid.
If the Celtics go all the way to the finals and play 7 games every series, Tatum will have played more games than Embiid this season.
That's hilarious.
He's
I I,
just
genu-
so unavailable. It's
I genuinely think Joel Embiid will make the Sixers worse if he comes back. I genuinely believe that because when has Joel Embiid ever showed up for the playoffs? And in
against the
that,
Celtics, never.
I also just think he's a cancer on the sideline. If you go back to what season was it? 2 seasons ago, where it was when
The James
Tatum.
Harden year,
It was the James Harden year with Tobias Harris and like Tatum had that fantastic game 7.
fourth point quarter, or
Yeah,
that
the
fourth
fourth,
quarter where he
he
scored like
played.
18 in the
Yeah,
fourth.
he did terrible in the first three, but in the fourth quarter he popped off.
I think it was game 6,
Game 6. In that game, if you
23.
if you go back to the post game press conference with Embiid, Embiid it blames James Harden and Tobias. No, he doesn't blame them directly, but he blames his teammates for not helping enough. He doesn't say it directly, but he's like, "Oh, it's the most you can do when you're the one doing the most work, or like you're the only one out there doing work." Tobias Harris and James Harden both outscored you, not together, not combined, individually. They outscored you. They did so much better than you, and you're gonna sit here and complain and bitch about your entire team when you're the one taking load management games left, right, and center, getting injured every single second, and then also genuinely performing bad in the playoffs. Like, you suck, dude. If like meet my team on the court, I don't care. Your team is better without you. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm like, he doesn't scare me. And maybe
I
he
want
should,
him to come.
because the bigs on the Celtics kind of scare me, especially after last night.
I want
Um,
Joel Embiid to come back. I want him to.
I don't know how you feel about this. I think it's time to give Luka Garza some minutes because Vucevic has been really uninspired, in my opinion.
I think so. I like what you're thinking. I think you won't see it this series. I may think you'll see it next series because again, it's only been 2 games in the playoffs. I think they'll ride this series out with the two of them, see how well they do, and then depending on who the next matchup is, depending on how well either one of them did, I think you'll see the adjustments be changed come the second round or the conference finals if they make it that far. So I don't think you'll see a change right now anytime soon in this series, but give it a series or two, you'll see it.
All right. Uh, I mean, again, I'm still not worried about this series whatsoever. I know you aren't still worried. Game 3 for the Celtics going to be Friday night, 7 p.m. No big debate today because there's no Sara, so a little bit of a quicker episode.
What color, if you were at Fenway, what color cooler cup would you want?
The blue.
You can have the blue, you can have the classic blue with the Boston red,
The blue.
the Monster green, or you can have the City Connect yellow and blue.
Okay, this might be a hot take. I hate the Yellow City Connects. Can we retire them?
What?
I hate them.
Really? I love
No,
it. I
I
love
hate
it.
them. And they're terrible in them, too. They play horrible in those jerseys.
What?
Get rid of them.
Those are my favorite. I love those. Come on.
No, I love the Green Monster ones. Those ones are cool. So yeah, no big debate. No Sara this week. She'll be back next week. Hopefully next week we're celebrating some playoff wins.
Is she shopping right now? Do you think she's shopping?
Isn't she on a plane?
I don't know. She said she was with her sister, right?
Yeah, but she's getting a plane to go see her sister.
No, maybe they're shopping.
Probably.
I would hope
She's
so.
shopping on her phone. She's
Just
on
looking
vacation.
for-
She deserves it. She works hard. But that's going to do it for episode 47 of the Duckboat Dispatch. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at the Duckboat Dispatch. Like, comment, share the post. It really helps out a lot. We appreciate the support. You can go to Instagram and TikTok at the Duckboat Dispatch. You can follow us there, comment, interact, all the fun stuff. If you want more of an audio version of the podcast, you can go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We are on both. Finding us on Spotify is a pain in the butt. So just go to the Instagram link tree Sara set up. It'll take you right there. You'll have no issues. We'll be back next week. React to the NFL draft. Maybe A.J. Brown's a Patriot. I've been saying it for 7 weeks, but maybe this is the week he's a Patriot. Red Sox will still be disappointing. I'm sure of it at some point in time next week. And maybe we'll have both Celtics and Bruins series wins, or we'll be looking at a games 5 or 6. But that'll be TBD. Both series could be over by then. That'll do it for this week's episode. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.